Welcome to The Boys on the Mic, the one-stop audio and video experience where the worlds of gaming and technology collide. I'm Nowakas, and I'm thrilled to be here with the dynamic duo, Kausa and Rex. How's it going, guys?
Hey Nowakas! Hey listeners! Kausa here. We're pumped to bring you another episode filled with the latest and the greatest in gaming and tech. No matter what kind of gamer you are or how tech-savvy you might be, we got something just for you.
That's right, Rexy here, and we're stoked to have you join us. Whether you're a long-time listener or just discovering the podcast, you're in for a treat. We dive deep into all things gaming and tech, bringing you the news, reviews, and experiences from around the digital world.
And don't forget, if you love the vibe, hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. It helps more gamers and tech enthusiasts like you find our show. Follow us on Tech Trio Tales to stay in the loop and become part of our growing community.
Got a topic you want us to cover? Or you just want to share your latest gaming victory? Reach out to us on our socials or in the comment section. We love hearing from our listeners.
Alright team, gear up because it's time to jump into another epic episode. Let's revive, respawn, power up, and go!
Guys, welcome back. Episode 4, Tech Trio Tales. Nawakas.
Nick, Kausa,
Rexy boy.
Yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first topic that we have today to discuss is cross-platform gaming, a game changer for the future. This is one of the topics that Rex decided to bring up today. So, yeah, Rex.
Breaking down the barriers, expanding player base, prolonging game lifespan, and the future of gaming. Sorry about that, guys. So generally when you think of cross-platform, in the past, you used to be able, you go to your friends and be like, oh, what console do you play? Or do you play PC or PlayStation or Xbox? And that would sort of limit you to play with people that have the same console as you. So I think that bringing the cross-platform helps sort of break down the barrier, and you can it doesn't matter what you play, you can play with your friends on any console. And I think it's a really cool.
I always have that issue when my mates have a PC and they'll be pushing me to get a PC too, just because we couldn't play the same game. And it was pain in the ass.
Yeah. I guess there are still some PC beta games that some consoles can't play until later, but the general sort of aspect of gaming, there are a lot of gaming companies that are sort of normalizing it and allowing everyone to jump in on it. But it's just like some games, but it's not everything. And usually the ones that are finished are the ones that are fun and have cross platform compatibility.
And I wonder, what was the restriction at the time? Was it because the companies wouldn't work together to get this in place? From what I know, a bit of background of Sony, because I've always been a Sony PlayStation player. I know that Sony was really reluctant to work with other companies to work on this because they thought that they will lose some of their market share. And that caused delays just to get this done. Because I think Microsoft was very willing to work with all the consoles. They wanted to make it extreme for everyone.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a commercial aspect to it. If you have got an exclusive title, I mean, we still see that today. But if you have a really good multiplayer game and it's only on, say, Xbox or PlayStation, you can push more sales that way by, forcing people to buy the console to play that game with their friends. It's probably not such a direct thing, but yeah, it's definitely something that happens unintentionally.
Yeah.
I also think there's a counter to that as well. If they just limit themselves to that, they are making money, but they could be making more money if they're over a broader selection of consoles and cell phones and iPads and whatever. So there's probably pros and cons to it all as well.
I think also there's there's a barrier to entry for certain consoles. For example, computer or PC. If you don't have access to, let's say, a lot of money or parents that are willing to buy you the latest PC, you might not be able to afford it. So there's probably a bigger market for people who have consoles, which is probably, the majority. That's why you see like a lot of families and stuff buying PlayStations, Xboxes, as opposed to building the fastest computer.
Oh, it's an all-in
Yeah,
solution at the end of the day. It's there for gaming. Like you don't need it for anything else.
Yeah.
Now they added a bit more functionality with just having Netflix and all that, but it wasn't part of the plan. I think it becomes also a function just because people start asking for it, but initially it was just a console, so it was just gaming.
And that's also probably a good point about computers as well. A lot of us that are millennials grew up having a family computer that was used for emails and important tasks. And like us kids would jump on and install games, and take up all the memory on the hard drive or things like that, Whereas now, like you can have PCs that are just meant for gaming, and more people in a household will have computers. Like the dads will
multiple.
Have, exactly. The dads will have like a laptop for work. The kids will have one for gaming. The mum will have her own laptop for whatever, like work or whatever she does as well. So
you consider it's just one item per person, like it's not as it used to be one per household, like you said before. That's a good point there.
Same with consoles as well. Same with consoles. You used to have one per household in co-op games and things like that, or a couch co-op was definitely very normal. Nowadays, I think bigger gaming companies are pushing for everybody to have their own console.
Yeah, and I think that's also to do with online gaming as well, where you can, I think that's part of the new generation of gamers is sort of connecting online and just, also the social aspect of it as well. And the crossplay as well. So, like anyone can play with you, you're not limited to just being.
I think we lost him. Here he is.
Sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties. Anyways, so I definitely think that cross-platform should be and will be a thing of the future, because if you're not doing it, then I don't know what you're doing.
So probably one of the things as well with cross-platform gaming is that it's not there yet. Not every single game has the potential to do cross-platform. And one of the things I noticed with a group of friends that I have at work is that actually finding a game that ticks all boxes, that's Xbox, PC, and PlayStation compatible. Cloud gaming. It's extremely difficult actually to find a game that ticks all those boxes. And at the moment, a lot of the games that do tick those boxes, they're some of like the like lower graphics intense games. A lot of like the co-op ones, like Among Us and things like that. There's that new horror game out at the moment. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but a lot of those games, and then it's multiplayer. But the like Fortnite, Call of Duty, those games. But there needs to be more games that are supported, across all systems, because that's a pretty big problem that we have now.
Yeah, it could be a problem, but I wonder if like doing something like that takes a lot more effort as well. Like if it's like they'd have to start investing more money and stuff like that to normalize it. Like
100%. Yeah, there would be
saying it is easier than done. Like I'm pretty sure that it's like if they wanted to, they could do it.
Yeah, but also
a lot of the big companies, they do it probably because they.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it is possible to do.
Yeah, like it is possible. Never say never.
So where do we see the future of crossplay, say 10 years time? Let's not go too far. Let's say 5 to 6 years time. Do we think we'll be able to just jump on my TV and use cloud gaming and play with my mates? Will that be something that
it's already here? Like for the premium tiers of PlayStation, you can stream games on your PlayStation. I know that Netflix and Google, I think Google's version of game streaming didn't work, Stadia. but Netflix as well is looking into streaming. So like you basically just need a smart TV and somewhere to connect the
Internet.
controller. Yeah,
Yeah.
to your TV, and you'd be able to have it. At the moment in Brisbane, there's GeForce, which the subscription costs like it's so cheap. It's like less than $5 a month, and but the only drawback is you actually have to own the games to be able to stream them on Steam.
Let's just separate the idea of competitive gaming, because that's a completely different story. That's where you actually need performance. But we're talking more about leisure gaming, where you don't actually need the best graphics. You don't actually need the best specs. So we're talking more about, am I gonna be able to jump on my phone, and then I'm not at home, I'm traveling, I just get my Portal. Now we've seen PlayStation is coming with Portal, and I'm playing the same game, having the same performance when I'm doing it at home.
It's 100% possible. I've actually been able to do that with GeForce. I've logged in while I'm at work on my phone, and I was playing Tomb Raider, and it was pretty flawless. There was a slight delay in the feedback, but you know that's more dependent on what internet connection you have as well, which that is going to become a bigger factor than what hardware you have.
I guess it's only going to get faster anyway. I'm sure like the internets are going to get faster, and the technology is going to be more accessible. And I was just thinking, like, what about cross-platform in AR and VR? Like when it gets to that, like sort of side of gaming, like will like Oculus and Meta be able to like cross-platform and that? I thought that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to be able to do that?
To be
Where you
honest,
could be like, pop that on and be like, hey, brothers.
yeah, like to be honest, I always think the big problem for myself of VR, it was that you are not being able like to play with someone else. It was just yourself. So I had the PlayStation 1, the first version, and I'll be playing.
Yeah.
And from like you get bored, and whereas when you have someone else there with you, even games that they are not that fun with someone else makes a bit difference just to play along.
Like when we did where we went for my birthday, like being in there or sort of being with other people makes it more fun, because you can experience the experience together and laugh together and cry together. So it makes it more fun.
We're social animals, so we actually need that.
I think that's definitely something they would have in the works, and then being able to cross-platform.
Be able to cross-platform.
I'm back, and I don't know this camera, bro. Just put it on and jump in the next.
The next topic that we had to discuss was recently, I don't know if most people have seen it unless you're living under a rock. The CEO of OpenAI had been fired by his board from OpenAI, and arguably, like, you know, he's one of the main guys that probably is the reason why OpenAI is so successful at the moment. So it's a very controversial thing. Just to give a quick summary, he was fired by the board. Then I believe it was a crazy statistic. Like 90% of the staff said that they would resign if he doesn't come back. And the OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was hired by Microsoft like pretty much as soon as he was fired from OpenAI, and then OpenAI employed him again after all the drama with the employees and things like that.
Why is, like, let's think about why is Microsoft so relevant for this whole thing? And if you consider OpenAI needs databases in the cloud, and who is the provider? One of them, it's Microsoft. So actually, for Microsoft, OpenAI is a client, and like if the company goes down, that means some of the revenue that they have out of them will also go down. So definitely, there's a lot of power and interest out of Microsoft to get this on back again on track.
Yeah, he must have been like a very influential person for the whole company to say that they would step down and resign.
You don't see that many times.
You see that in movies.
Jobs.
Yeah,
even Steve Jobs. Like Steve Jobs was the main guy, and some people hated him. Well, a lot of people hated him. At the same time, some people loved him. But even when the board kicked him, he had to step down. Like it was a reality.
First. Yeah. So what's the new choice there?
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what the vision of the company is and that. And sometimes when your vision isn't with the company, like they might just
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they
technically,
might not keep you on board or something like that.
like technically, in mine as a team, let's say I watch a lot of football, soccer, and your main guy that leads you to win last year's cup, it goes away to another company. So all the vision, all the strategy that they had that makes them win the last cup, it's not gonna be there. So technically, even if you have the best players, which OpenAI has one of the best engineers in AI, they don't have a vision. They don't know what exactly to do. There's so many people that need to be told what to do to get the best out of them. So in this case, seems like Sam was that person. So without him, the company doesn't have a sense of existence. So I think that's why they push it so hard.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's almost like when somebody has a certain hairstyle and then they cut their hair off. This is a weird metaphor, but like when somebody's like, let's say for example, you have dreadlocks and you cut your hair off, and the dreadlocks was your identity. It's almost like Sam Altman was like the dreadlocks of OpenAI. Once they removed him, I think they lost a bit of their identity.
That's a funny metaphor, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But,
even one of the headlines, like thing, who was the other company that was looking at? They actually posted if you guys Salesforce CEO,
Yeah.
like he saw an opportunity, and just like he posted online saying like, I will take all the engineers, I'll double up, just come to me.
Yeah. Chaos creates opportunity, as they say.
yeah.
100%.
They also have that. Not sure if we can get the audio for it. About Q-Star, which was like I'm not sure if it was a CEO, but in OpenAI, they discovered that they could sort of. I'm not sure if it's a program, and I'm not sure if it's come into life yet. But they said that potentially they could open up OpenAI where they can break the parameters of what we've taught it to learn, and teach it to go beyond that and learn and also create. So that's another thing that might sound interesting to some and scary for other to do with AI.
We don't know exactly how AI works, and I think there's so many things that there's outside of the theories and all that. We don't know exactly what the real potential is. They have constraints. They've been built this technology under constraints. So what could be the potential harm if you open up those constraints? Will that be the futuristic apocalypse that we foreseen in all movies?
I think that's what a lot of people fear. And like it was also saying that it could create its own maths to solve theories that humans couldn't normally do. But apparently it can teach itself and create.
This is a good recommendation I can give. The Creator, just a movie that came out, I think, a month ago. Yeah. They talk about this sort of futuristic, not apocalypse. It's more about like what could be the potential if it's integrated within the whole society.
Yeah. Obviously, them, the AI bombing the US as part of the movie. Like, I think that AI is created by us. So if we were to shape it like anything, we could shape it into a way that it could benefit us. But it's only people that do wrong to AI that could potentially make it that way, where people might fear it.
Yeah, it's always.
I guess it's all up to us.
It's all up to us, exactly. It's almost like weapons. Like again, it could be just to defend yourself, but it could also be to create violence. So it's always the matter of what the purpose is in reality, of what the person that uses it So it's not more about exactly the tool. It's if you see it as a tool, it depends on who is using it.
Yeah, or if it's a weapon. I'll just pop on this video as well that you shared with us, Nick. Just
promising research outfit to one of the most hyped companies on the planet. They said that he was not consistently candid with the board. That's a very diplomatic way of saying he lied. But they didn't say what he lied about, and they still haven't. So everyone at the company started thinking that this was a coup that was less about bad leadership and more about AI philosophy and safety, like whether it's going to save us or kill us all. A bunch of people resigned, including Greg Brockman, who was president and chairman until Friday. Then, over the weekend, Altman's crew went to OpenAI and tried to negotiate their return. And they brought along Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, who's the biggest investor. But they couldn't make it work. So then Microsoft suddenly announced it was hiring them to run an AI division there. And now almost all of OpenAI's employees have signed a petition saying that they'll quit unless the board resigns. And from what I'm hearing, that's pretty likely. Ilya Sutskever, the chief science officer there, and the one that most people think is kind of responsible for this whole situation, issued this abject apology and signed the petition asking for his own resignation. But then, a few hours later, Sam Altman is now tweeting about how OpenAI's success is his top priority from Microsoft. Oh my God. Basically, it's total chaos. But one thing is for sure, OpenAI will never be the same. Stay tuned for more on this rapidly developing situation. I'm Devin Coldaway with TechCrunch.
Yeah, that's a good summary that I actually watched.
Yeah, that is a hectic ride. Just watching.
yeah.
I think there's a bit of theories there that I personally I normally don't support, and I try to avoid until it's confirmed. But yeah, it's a potential theory. So I don't know exactly what it's like there because I don't work for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's only in your mind. Like I was also talking to Tor about it this morning, or sorry, no Wackers. And I was saying it could be a publicity stunt.
Yeah, I mean, like if it actually is one, like that's pretty smart. But it just seems like it's too chaotic for it to be organized.
Yeah, so sometimes out of the chaos,
Like they came back.
they
Oh,
use it.
I didn't actually know like it happened like that, and like just listening to it, it was so chaotic. Oh, they came back with the boss of Microsoft. Nope. So then Microsoft hired him.
I'm pretty sure Netflix is already trying to close it.
Yeah, there'll be a documentary out.
Like I said, they're just like sitting there, like, yep, okay. You need some money to document this.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
They can find stories out of nowhere. Like I haven't watched the Spotify one, but I think it's kind of the similar vibes. There's something, a backstory that we haven't seen before.
It's crazy though.
The one
Like
about
some of these.
The Sydney's 1-4 one was pretty good. 1-4 is like a sort of rap group from Sydney, and they did like was it sort of like a biography documentary sort of their upcoming. So I thought like they did that one pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's kind of crazy when you have something like a court case playing out, and then they're also releasing like a documentary about it at the same time.
Yeah.
Get a lot of views.
Or like, for example, the underwater, submarine that imploded. They released like a documentary on that like a couple of days after it happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's definitely AI working.
I guess that's.
It's almost those things that it makes you think. Like, have they been working on this, or how they get ready so quick?
Yeah.
Did they just release this? But how do they have all of this information so quickly?
All right. In the interest of time as well, I'll just play. This is like a section that I wanted to add, but it's basically the TikTok of the week. So it's just like a video that I found that I thought was pretty cool. This one is revolves around tech, and it's from South Korea. So I'm just going to play this now.
But here in South Korea, you can't throw your food garbage away. It has to be composted and recycled, and you have to pay for it. So here at the...
Like just that, like you have to basically think about what you are buying every week so that you don't have too much wastage. Otherwise, if you do, you have to throw it away into a compost bin, which you actually have to pay for.
I wonder how much it costs.
Yeah, if there's a limit, if there's what's the cost?
I guess if you're paying for it, there wouldn't be a limit for it, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like,
Apartments that we're staying
Yeah.
in, this is where we take it. So go ahead, Yobo. We put in a special code. Go ahead and put your code in.
Yobo.
I'm going to turn it off.
Come on, Yobo.
Come on.
so you can just chuck it in there with the whole bag,
So someone else is using
or
it.
they just dump it in
Giving
it.
it another try. There's usually a card that you use to use it, but my husband left it upstairs, so he's trying to remember the code.
Unprepared.
Gotta put all the food
Yes, I just dump it in.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, and they weigh it, and then we pay based on whatever the weight is. It's 3.3 kilograms. I don't know how much we're gonna pay for that. It can't be very much.
Probably she really could have included how much it costs, because that's what I was most interested
Yeah.
in. But
Yeah.
I guess the aspect of it is pretty cool.
This raised me a few questions. Like, okay, I get charged for my compost. That's fine. Like, it makes you probably be more aware of what you need to throw into the bin. But then, what do they do with this? I don't know if you heard that you can use compost for methane, so you can use that as a biocombustible, so you can use
For
that
cooking
to
and
create electricity. Is that what they doing, or is it just for reasons of controlling compost?
I guess with the compost, they can use it for fertilizer as well. So, and to create topsoil, so they can use the food that they have to create more food, essentially. Which is,
maybe it might do a full circle, and then you can come like a few months later and
I believe that is probably the idea behind it. But I was talking to somebody about this, and they mentioned that they have something similar in Japan with their waste, where they actually don't have bins like they do in Australia, where you put on the side of the road and a dump truck comes and picks it up every week. They just literally organize all of their trash, separate it into different things, and then put it on the street. And they also have tokens that you can buy. And let's say the tokens cover a certain amount of weight. So like, let's say you wanted to get rid of a couch, that would require 4 tokens. So you go buy the tokens from the post office, and then you slap the tokens on the couch and you put it on the side of the street. The guy who comes to collect the rubbish will come, make sure there's enough tokens, and then take it. So the one problem with this as well that they have in Japan, which I'm not sure if they have this problem in South Korea, is that they started seeing that they had things which what they refer to as forest dumps, where people who didn't want to pay for the stamps would actually take their trash and just go to a forest and dump it there, which is the complete opposite. And I wonder if the same thing would happen in South Korea with like the compost rubbish, where people may dump it in the neighbor's yard, or just find somewhere to dump it without paying for it.
You always find a way. I think probably one of the best solutions that I've seen before, I think in somewhere Norway or Sweden, that I saw a video that they pay you back for your recycling and your compost. So say for instance, they make you be aware of where you need to put it, which I think in Australia we have a fair bit of idea where we need to put it. But then they also reward me with tokens, and those tokens you can use it in the supermarket. So at the end of the day, if you do a great job, they give you more tokens that you can use on your grocery shopping. So at the same time, if they don't give you money back, but you're actually getting that money as a saving when you're doing shopping.
I like that. I like that way. That's more incentivized recycling.
I know. I do it with my younger son, Vernon, where they give you money back for your recycled, like aluminum, plastic, and that, and it's usually 10 cents a pop. But I do know that Woolworths and that have a similar thing where they give you like a piece of paper that you can spend in Woolworths and that for your recycling.
It's actually I didn't even think about that, but that's kind of cool that we already have that in Australia as well. Because I was thinking that we didn't have that, but we do. So yeah, that's pretty
cool. You see those big green bins, and it says recyclable, and then like you put in all your recycling, and it gives you a receipt with a barcode, and you can go into Woolies and just scan it, and you can actually cash it out or use it for your shopping.
Cool.
But I don't know if they have like the other, like all of recycling, like cardboard boxes or general
Yeah,
stuff.
get to that point, but still, it's a good progress. Yeah. You said these collection points are there in specific places, or that you can find them anywhere?
Usually in shopping centers, like big ones, or you can just go to the ones where you can get cash. And there's usually, some within the certain area or the district that you're from. And you input all the stuff, and then it'll like count it all, and you get a receipt and you give it to like whoever's working there, and they give you cash back. So it's like 10 cents per bottle or can or bottle, like milk carton or whatever had the 10 cents recyclable.
Yeah.
Definitely today,
So that's pretty cool.
with the current inflation and things like that, I think a lot of people will be looking to try and recycle a bit more. And if they can get a bit more cash back as well to help out with their cost of living, I mean, that's a great solution.
Think about it. It's the idea that you're making people do the job for you, and then also they're getting rewarded. So at some point, everyone wins.
Yeah, and that's a habit that you can create because you get rewarded in the end. And I think that's something that's really cool. And eventually you'll be doing it without thinking.
Yeah,
very
true.
That was a deep one.
All right, boys. Well, I think that's it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. Yeah. And that's us. We're out.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next episode.
Bye.
Hey guys, Kaza here. Thanks for tuning in into The Voice on the Mic. Today we have a great discussion about closed platform games and the latest scandals of Sam Altman with the board. And we also talk about the innovative compost recycling practices in Japan. If you like this discussion, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.